Yo, 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 what's happening? Welcome back to the Great Power Podcast. It's me, your boy, Shahzeb Malik. I'm in here via Zoom with Collin. We're going to talk
How's it going,
about
guys?
the Snyder Cut, TSC. We can talk about the potential return of Henry Cavill as Superman. We're going to talk about my sad, tragic life.
Yeah, you and me both, buddy. You and me both.
Just two guys being dudes.
You guys being
Talking
depressed fucking dudes.
just depressed. But yeah, to start off, I got a funny story to tell.
Oh, it's funny.
Oh Lord. Okay, so last night, like 10 o'clock at night, I'm just chilling in my basement watching Uncut Gems, Kino, very Kino film,
Good film,
and
great film.
yeah,
Just talked
great,
about last time.
yeah, good movie. Those of you who have listened to this, frequently, you know that we talked about this last week, and so I was rewatching. Hey, can you hear me?
I hear you.
Oh, okay, cool. I thought I had the mute button. Anyways, and it just so happens. So my basement is relatively colder than the rest of the house. And my dad will periodically check in on me. I'll say, "What's up? It's nice and cool down here." Remark on the temperature and whatnot. And I'm not making this up. The moment that he decided, the one time out of all the times in the movie, in life, that he could have come down and
Out of the
check it out.
2 hour runtime of the film, over 2 hours, the one
And all the
scene.
different shots and scenes and the different wonderful colorizations of the film. My dad comes down right in the middle of the scene with Julia Fox.
The Julia Fox sexy time scene.
Exact, the one of many, as Colin says.
What is one of many? I actually asked him, I was like, oh, which one? You guys
Which
feel more
one, right?
specific than that, man.
And it was the one, literally the worst of them all.
Oh yeah, the first one and the worst one.
Exactly. When she's in her lingerie, getting ready for Howie.
Yeah, taking pictures of Howie.
And so I've been using my phone to just cast to the Xbox
Yeah,
instead
basically,
of exactly as remote instead of using the controller.
yeah.
And what do? I could have just skip forward, skip
Could have
backward.
shut the movie off. You could have put it on something a little more kid friendly.
I could have thrown something at the TV.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I decided to pause it.
Pause it right on the scene. Yeah, they say a picture is worth $1 million. Man, that picture is worth more than $1 million that day.
Literally, it was just a picture of Julia Fox.
Julia
You know what was in my head? J. Jonah Jameson's line.
Julia Roberts in a thong.
We get a picture of Julia Roberts in a thong. We can sure as hell get a picture of this creep.
Yeah. We get a picture of Julia Fox in a thong.
Yeah. And literally, it's a picture of her. It's a shot of her taking a picture of herself.
Of herself, yeah. From when he's in the closet looking at her.
Exactly, to send to Howie, unbeknownst that he's in the
closet. He's actually still there, yeah.
And of all the scenes, of all the parts of that scene.
Oh, yeah. There's a scene that opens with him and getting a colonoscopy. Could pause on that.
Colin was like, "Oh, it'd be better. It'd be worse. At least I'll be glad he didn't open it up or he didn't pause it on the colonoscopy. Motherfucker, I'd rather have it on the colonoscopy scene. I'd rather have that.
Or when he gets shot point blank, you pause right on that scene.
Like my dad's not gonna see that movie. My dad doesn't watch. He's not gonna see that shit. There's no worries. But no.
Did he notice it? Did he say anything like?
Oh, let me finish.
Yeah.
Fight or flight, adrenaline all kicked in.
Yeah.
I've never been in this situation before. I'm not dumb.
Yeah.
And what do I do when he's coming? I can hear him coming down, so I'm like rushing. Yeah. Hey, I'm like, Jordan, game 7. The clock is expiring. Like, I gotta make a decision.
10 seconds on the clock.
I got it. 10 seconds on the clock. You gotta make a move. You shoot, pass, or choke the game.
Yeah.
And man, did I choke the game. I just turned. So I'm like sitting here and he's coming down the stairs and I turn and I point to the TV.
Yeah.
I'm pointing. I don't know fucking why. I was just fucking
as if it wasn't obvious enough. I've seen the size of your TV. Your TV's a decent size, as if to say, you can't see the naked woman on the screen, half naked woman on the screen. You're
And-
pointing at it.
And what's the kicker? I say it's not what it looks like.
Yeah, I actually said. I thought you were joking when you told me that. Oh, Jesus. So what, did he say, well, what does it look like?
No.
What is it, Shahzeb?
Yeah,
Tell
tell
me.
me. No, he just.
I'm going to spit my water out. I can't even.
Yeah, he can't. It was like, it was like, oh, no, it's fine. It's like, look, again, coming from this background, like, it's like,
Yeah.
my dad is super chill. Like, he's not going to get that idea.
Yeah, of course. All right.
But because I've been consuming so much pop culture content and all these fucking movies,
Right.
I think my life is a fucking movie.
Yeah, that's some sitcom shit.
Isn't that what people say, like, when they get caught and they're cheating? Like, Jordan
It's not what it
Belfort?
looks like. Yeah.
It's not what it looks like. Tell me, Jordan, what does it look like?
Yeah, exactly. I was just helping her find something.
Yeah.
Playing a game of Twister.
I found the cocaine. I found the lewds.
Yeah.
The lewds.
Oh, God.
And he just went back upstairs. Like, the man just, like, turned around, went back upstairs.
Just came in just to check the temperature, make sure it's cool, and then just up he went.
He just embarrassed me and just went back up, bro.
Did he knock? He didn't knock, did he?
No, he started just. So it's like a long. It's not like a 2-step staircase. So it's a bit of a long. I mean, it's a fucking basement. Of course, it's gonna be a long staircase. But so he comes down and, like, he didn't, like, knock or anything. He's just, like, coming down. Like, I heard the door open and I was like, fuck.
Yeah, I'm fucked.
I was like, shit. Like, you could just hear a pin drop. I was so stressed and just my adrenaline kick. And if it were with my Xbox controller, I would have just, like, zoomed all the way in the front.
Yeah.
Or just pressed B twice and just exited it. Nah.
You fucking goon, you.
Again, I've never had to hide shit.
Yeah, I know. It's just a movie.
I know. That's the funniest fucking part. This is just a film. Like, it's.
Yeah, and he's gonna be thinking otherwise because he has no idea what you're watching.
My dad probably hasn't seen a film like he's not. I don't think he's gone to the movie theater. Like, my dad is not a movie guy. My dad is not. He lives a very simple life. It's not like he he knows I don't think he's seen a film in theaters like in 20 years. Like,
he certainly hasn't seen a movie like Uncut Gems either.
Oh,
so that's not,
he doesn't even know what a. I could say Uncut Gems to him, and he would say, "Well, what gems are you talking about? Or do you want me to?"
Why are they uncut? Why didn't you cut them, Shahzeb? We should get your dad on the podcast one day just to interview. Mr. Malik, what was going through your mind when your son was watching Uncut Gems?
He's not gonna. I was joking about this with my other friend. I was like, dude, he's not even. He's already forgotten. I guarantee you, because he's not a forgetful dude. He has a very strong memory. The dude, like, knows his stuff. Like, he'll tell me, like, his 6th grade teacher all the way in Lahore, Pakistan. Like, he'll know that teacher, but this thing, like, stuff that's, like, not for, like, he just won't, like, he won't, because it wasn't anything to him, you know?
Yeah. Most you're 18, like, it's not like his business anymore. Yeah.
It's not. Yeah. If I were younger, he might have said something, but no. Like, I've just never. That was just really new learning experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to get him on here and just be like.
That'd be a great day. Yeah, Father's Day's coming up. Father's Day podcast there.
Father's Day special. We talk about Uncle Ben.
Special with a special guest, Mr. Malik.
That'd be amazing.
That's pretty good. Yeah, it'd be a great idea there.
God, yeah. I could ask him about. You know what he could talk about old, like, Pakistani films. That's what he could talk about. Like,
that wouldn't be bad. Yeah,
but
get out some recommendations, even to us.
Yeah, he could do that. That would be pretty funny. That's the, what is it? 100K subscriber special.
Yeah, 100K Father's Day special.
Right. Anyways, and then another. I don't really know why I'm sharing this. I mean, I'm already a shmuck. You know what they say. Yeah, it's better to be a king for a night than a schmuck for a lifetime.
That's true.
And I am a schmuck for my life, but I'll be a king on this night. The king of
comedy.
I was about to say king of comedy, but I'll say king of just being a complete bozo.
Hey, we've all been there. Both stories.
Other story about my tragic life of today. I went kayaking with my friends. Kayaking. Never been kayaking before. It was very, very nice.
And what'd you do?
And I'm in a single one, right? We're all in like the single kayaks and and I'm really struggling. Like I'm struggling. I really am not. I was like, I'm not caught up. I was like, I was visualizing it the day before. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go like this. Right? I don't even know what the fuck I was doing. And then I hit like a really deep stroke on the thing. The whole fucking kayak capsizes. And I go straight into the water. And I was just chilling. I had my life jacket on.
How long?
My phone was in my life jacket, but that shit is water. It took me like 10 minutes, I guess, total to get back because I was chilling there. Like they had to bring another canoe. I was holding on to that guy, and then they brought me in. I was soaked. The entire like park / because it's like a metro park. It's a park / fishing area, and all the people going. They saw. They didn't like. No one was like laughing and like hootering or anything, but I know deep down they were like, "This fucking guy."
Yeah, everyone thinking like, "Oh my god, this dude." But listen, it probably I was even telling you this before. It probably happens as frequently as you would think, man.
Right.
I'm sure if I got in a canoe right now, my ass would. I'd probably fucking drown to death. To be honest with you, I would panic. I would make it worse. I would drag myself down with the canoe. That's what I'd do.
That was.
I'm sure a lot of other people would. Yeah, we've been over, man.
We're all clowns.
What a society we happen to live in, my friend.
We live in a society, and then
so I get fucking.
And instead, I'm like, yeah. The people are like, would you rather want to do like the I forget what the fuck name it was, but it was like a bigger one. Would you rather want to do something like that? And it's like 2 people, so I would go with my friend Marissa, who. For the life of me, will not let me hold this down. My friend Mason will not let me live this down.
That's what good friends do. They'll never let you hold this shit down, man.
They were like joking. They're like, dude, at your wedding, at your funeral, we're just gonna.
Oh yeah, that'll be the toast right there.
I was like joking, like
if they'll bury you in a canoe. They'll cremate your ass. They'll put it in there, and they'll fucking set it to sea. And then it'll flip over for good old times.
No.
What about Godfather Part 2 at the end where they're on the fucking?
Don't spoil nothing.
Sorry, I didn't say who.
Oh, am I getting a fucking call? Fucking A. Ma, I'm on a fucking phone. Ma, I'm on the fucking. I gotta just here. I'm gonna scream. Okay, guys, I'm just going out of the shot. Damn, y'all sound like crotch. Mom, I'm on a podcast right now. Sorry, I can't take your call. I hope she heard me.
Oh, man. Shahzeb, this is not your week, man. Not your week. Oh, man. We're all clowns, man. We're all fucking jokers here. Oh, wait a minute. Jokers?
Here.
DC Comics?
No, we're not transitioning yet. We're talking about...
we're not transitioning yet? Oh, shit. All right.
No, my therapy session is starting.
Okay, is it? Oh, my God.
Fuck. I'm thinking we should probably just like launch like a comedy pod or something. I've been thinking about different pods to launch, and I've always like liked comedy. Like the fuck am I saying? I've always liked comedy. As you know, like we've talked about comics. Stand up as I go through stuff like that. Yeah, so that would be an interesting thing. I mean, you're a pretty funny guy. You're a pretty funny guy.
Whoa! How funny am I? What kind of funny am I?
The way you tell the joke. Yeah, you're
the joke. It's fucking. He's funny. No. You said it. I ain't say nothing. How am I so funny? You fucking tell me. What's so damn funny about me? Tell me. Get the fuck out of here, Tommy.
Yeah, I was like, Tommy, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, he's just silence and just get the fuck out of here. I almost had him. Who? The fucking guys on the podcast, the Blank Town, they do one of the fucking guys does a Joe Pesci impression.
Oh, that's really good.
And it fucking turns into Jay Leno.
Yeah, oh my God, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, she's trying to do like some cheesy ass Italian, and then it turns into
just like that. Oh yeah, we can do that. We're like squeaky, rap.
the oddest looking human being imaginable.
Oh my god, yeah, that guy's eyes, bro.
I think no. Speaking of comedy, Louis C.K. went on his show back when he had a show, and not to insult him, and I ain't really joking. Louis C.K. was just like, "Hey, listen, like I don't want to like be insulting or anything like that, but you're the oddest human being I've ever met." Like if I was if someone that looked like you committed a crime, and I was telling what the guy looked like to like the police sketcher, the guy sketching would be like, "No, seriously, what did he look like?"
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a clown.
I'm a clown.
Yeah, Colin's a clown. My life is the life of a clown. I mean, like, just look at my fucking senior years. Is the clownest, like, I'm gonna be graduating through a drive-up ceremony.
Well, didn't you hear? I think now, after like July 12th or something like that, they can have like graduation ceremonies so long as they like have like certain restrictions to them.
Right, social distancing and stuff. Yeah. I mean, that has been a thing that they've been considering, but again, like it's all up in the air, and like,
yeah,
I don't fucking know. All I know is right now, this coming Sunday, I got a drive-up ceremony. I drive in the car, get out of the car with my parents, get the diploma.
Nah, it's better than nothing,
Take
man.
the
I mean,
picture
it's better than online. Yeah.
On to the next. Yeah. I'm not. I don't ever want to seem ungrateful.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to have got to this point, but man, I'm a fucking schmuck.
Nah, schmuck. It wasn't the whole class. You're a schmuck in the whole class of 2020 is a schmuck. Like, let's be real here. I got plenty of friends that are in the same grade as you, and they feel the same way. It's like, dude, it's not your fault. It's just bad time, bad circumstances, and it'll eat it out sometime down the line. Like, you just gotta, have faith.
Oh well. I hope I haven't embarrassed myself too much, but at this point, who cares? Speaking of clowns, I mean, Zack Snyder's back.
Zack Snyder, the biggest clown of them all. You want to talk about your bad luck? This guy had a whole film taken away from him.
That's right. I think that's something.
And the tragedy that befell him and his entire family, his daughter passing away and all that. Like, I want to say the film got taken away from him, but he had to give it up, for family obligations.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think the way we approach the situation is, 1, we were not there. 2, we're not Zack Snyder, and 3, we're not the Warner Bros. Execs.
Yeah.
So we don't know what happened, how exactly he was feeling, or how the board was feeling. But from the way it seems, correct me if I'm wrong. From the way it seems, Zack Snyder was, his vision was like taking too long, and like BVS was a bit of too much of a hit, or like hit in a negative sense for WB, and they're just kind of like looking for a reason to kick him out.
Yeah.
And they just found this tragic situation, and we're like, all right, they might have obviously
they gave him an out.
Exactly. They didn't like push him out, but they were like, I guess
yeah, but they were like,
hey, like the door's open, like
vacation, paid vacation there, Zach.
Right. We just want to hit the reset button, and then like Joss Whedon came in. I love Joss Whedon. I think he's a fantastic filmmaker, fantastic creative.
Oh hell yeah!
Mm-hmm. But
and a giant, a great writer and director in terms of like being like nerd, comic book stir stuff like that.
The counterculture, essentially,
like
exactly. The Vampire Slayer, Avenger,
Joel, Firefly. That's
But with this, man, did he fuck up?
Yeah, but then again, anybody, you could have gotten fucking Scorsese himself to try and dig this entire franchise out of the ditch that they dug with,
I want to see Scorsese do a superhero.
With the Irishman. Irishman.
The Irishman.
Irish.
Don't forget the hyphen. Don't forget the hyphen.
His magical green ring in the shape of a shamrock can propel out energy by just sheer imagination.
Just propels out fucking bullets. and not like automatic fire, like a fucking pistol, like what he would use if you were like doing a hit.
Yeah, he only had 6 rounds.
At that range, it's like boom, boom.
The Irishman v. Jimmy Hoffa, Dawn of the Union.
It's out of
Unity. Oh God.
I'd love to see Al Pacino in a superhero film. I think he'd be great.
Who did he play?
Al Pacino for Professor Xavier.
Al Pacino for fuck, like, yeah, that kind of would work. Shave his head, but keep the Italian, make him Italian instead of like British
That
or
would
whatever.
be cool. I don't know. Are there? They're not really that many. I mean, besides like Tony Stark, there aren't that many Italian characters in Marvel.
Fuck, you're right. Well, Frank Castle, Punisher, he's Italian.
Right, but no, there's no way Punisher. Punisher, the Al Pacino. Al Pacino could play a really good Wolverine if he was like buff and young.
If he was fucking like 40 years younger, maybe.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe they can get away with some stuff with the technology.
Yeah, with the fucking Irishman technology.
Al Pacino.
It's fucking Wolverine. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I gotta make that movie.
Scorsese would do a great Batman film.
Scorsese, yeah, that'd be pretty fucking cool. It would be from the perspective of the fucking monsters that Batman fucking beats the shit out of. It would be like a horror film. Like, it would be like Jason. It would just be a bunch of Italian guys that get chased down by Batman.
Yeah, Batman's like killing everyone.
Yeah. It would be Zack Snyder's Batman.
Yeah.
He's just there fucking shooting people.
You know, Scorsese should do like a spinoff of the Nolan trilogy, and he should do it from the perspective of Carmine Falcone.
Yeah, just call it that. Just call it Falcone. That'd be pretty sick.
Exactly. Yeah, the one word titles.
Yeah, exactly. The one name title. I mean, they already fucking did a Scorsese-esque Joker movie, and why not? I mean, just go forward.
Scorsese was originally, he started as the director. He was attached as the director to the film.
Yeah, because he produced it, didn't he? It was like his production company.
No. So he was attached as a director. Then he stepped down from that. They brought in Todd Phillips. He stepped down to producer. He was like overseeing the script and the production, and then he walked away from the project completely.
Yeah, probably because he made it already. He's called Taxi Driver.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that and he went into Irishman production. So
well, he passed on he made a much better film, in my opinion. I think Joker's fine, but I don't love it or anything.
I like Joker.
I like better than the actual DC movies that they made in the last couple years.
100%.
Yeah, if I had to choose between that, like Taxi Driver, I think Taxi Driver any day.
Oh yeah, Taxi Driver any day. But back to Snyder Cut. So it's been officially announced. I know it's been like almost a week exactly on the dot. This is Wednesday.
Yeah, it's been a couple of days. Yeah.
Yeah, that it's been announced that the Snyder Cut is real. The Snyder Cut is in production, and it will be.
Yeah, because we talked about it last on the Uncut Gems podcast, but
did we? Oh no, we talked about the rumors. Like it was like because I remember
this was rumor because there was like some footage going around on like the HBO Max thing because the HBO Max dropped now, so of course they're gonna.
Have you looked at that yet? Because I know you always jump on this stuff.
Oh, I have. I'm gonna probably get it this week. I think honestly, no. I think I'm gonna pass on it this week. I'll get it around the time that the Snyder Cut comes out.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I'll definitely get it.
I think it's given like even Disney Plus run for its money because it's basically merged with the DC Universe app.
Exactly, and which is like interesting because like isn't DC Universe still gonna be like separate? Like they're just gonna. I think what they're trying to do is like. All the OG shit, like the cartoons, the comics, and the shows.
That's exclusively on there.
That'll stay on DC Universe, right?
And they have original content on there. Like they have Doom Patrol, Swamp Thing's canceled, but they have Stargirl and a couple other ones. That stuff's going to be on both, basically.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they were talking about that Green Lantern show they're going to do with Greg Berlanti helming it.
Yes.
It's going to be on HBO Max. I'm sure it's going to be on DC Universe. So they're kind of sharing the original content. Yeah. But
they're going to call it the Green Lantern Corps or something.
What's up?
They were going to call it the Green Lantern Corps, I think. That's what.
Yeah, it's going to be about like a bunch of different Green Lanterns. And they're doing like some Strange show. Yeah, they basically made a deal with them. So they're going to have like.
Isn't J.J. Abrams supposed to be doing something with HBO Max?
Oh, yeah. I think he was. Oh, yeah. He's doing the Justice League Dark.
That's what it was. That's what it was. I knew it was. I was going to say something Justice League, but.
Yeah. It's Bad Robot, his production company. He's doing something with that. But it sounds promising. I have more faith in the TV shows than I do the movies. Let's be real.
Facts.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Daredevil, Punisher, The Boys, to an extent.
There you go. Yeah, prime examples.
Watchmen, Mandalorian.
I gotta fucking watch Watchmen.
All in the last year.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, dude. I mean, or even the upcoming fucking Marvel Disney Plus shows. I mean, those haven't come out yet, but they look promising.
Those are going to be good, man. Those are.
Yeah, those will be fucking great. I'm fucking hyped for the Hawkeye show. You know.
That'll be good. And what's your name? So Haley Steinfeld is like the number one fan cast, and like everyone has been saying that like she is gonna be
Kate Bishop, yeah.
right, but she has come on denied it. But at the same time, in 2014, like when rumors were floating around about Brie Larson being Captain Marvel, she's denied them too. So like, I'm not gonna take. Sorry, I can't even take the actors at their words because.
Yeah, no,
they're
I just. Yeah, I just recently got done reading the comic series, the Matt Fraction series that they're going to base the show off of. And she would be fucking perfect for Kate Bishop. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
I think because I really liked his character arc overall, like throughout the MCU, but also especially like in Avengers, I think that they really did a good job of like kind of because Hawkeye is a character we have never seen before. Once in a 2003 Avengers cartoon,
Yeah.
and up until Avengers 20 or like obviously Thor 2011 is when he got like introduced. I don't count that as like an appearance. I mean,
Oh yeah, it's not.
they're there for like a couple seconds, but like Avengers 2012 for his dialogue, he's developed as a character. You have Academy Award nominated actor Jeremy Renner playing Hawkeye. I think that was so interesting, and they kind of like they went a bit more meta with it or not meta, sorry, they went a bit more realistic with it by like, having him doing archery training, and like most times like it's just like a prop and they're just chilling, but no, like he's a full ass archer. I think that's pretty cool. And that sense of realism that is now it's much lacking from the MCU. And I'm not saying that like, oh, I need Mark Ruffalo to take a fucking, super serum and turn into a fucking green monster.
Oh yeah, no.
Because that's what, a lot of, the people who are offended at MCU purists like I am, like me, will say like, oh, do you expect Captain, like Steve Rogers to, or what's the name, Chris Evans to,
take steroids?
Yeah, yeah, to take fucking steroids. Like, no. But the things that are realistic, things that are practical, do it. God.
Yeah. No.
It's like, look, I'm no filmmaker. I'm no MCU, aficionado and working on the creative team. But from a filmmaking standpoint, from a fan standpoint, I mean, you could give I'm pretty tired. Like literally, there's a meme account on Instagram called CGI Wall. I'm pretty sure it's called CGI
Wall.
Wall.
I love those guys.
Shout out CGI Wall on
Instagram. Yeah.
And literally it's just memes of the CGI wall.
Like they couldn't have just like, dude, you have a wall behind it that's covered in a green screen. You can just film that.
Yeah. So the context of that is in Infinity War. There's like a whole ass like in the scene when the three Doctor Strange, Tony, and Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner, and obviously Wong are like on the street. Like instead of just like, I mean, they were literally shooting on location in New York. Like instead of just like making it normal, they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna have a big blue fucking wall. Like
I get the reason why. It's like, I don't agree with it, but I get why. It's the same Sanctorum. Like, it's not a real building, so you kind of need to CG it. But, like, dude, it's a New York building. Like, they all look the fucking same. Just, get a street corner and call it a day. I don't fucking know.
And compare that to Joss Whedon, Avengers, closing off streets and streets of New York and Cleveland. Here, they filmed streets, they closed them. And they filmed real action sequences. I believed it.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, I think that's a big contrast with like Zack Snyder, who's talk as much shit as you want. He's very realistic, He's very different, And I think that's I was like his whole shtick is like, I'm edgy, and like it's with Zack Snyder is the biggest like in like cinema history. Like he's got a banger like Watchmen, and then he's got like Batman vs Superman and Justice,
About Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
No, he's got a really underrated movie that's actually badass. It's fully animated. It's like a cartoon movie, but it's the Owls of Ga'Hoole or the Guardians of Ga'Hoole. It's like some owl animated cartoon movie, but it's actually like badass, like really great, like CGI and like visual effects, but it's actually got, like a decent story.
Really? I mean, and I think that's like the dude. That speaks to like how he is creative as a filmmaker. He's creative.
No, and he made the Dawn of the Dead remake also.
Right. That's right. He's creative from a directorial standpoint. But there's just a few like tumbling blocks and I think that most of it has to do with the fact that he was rushed into producing this DCEU. Like that's terrible that he was kind of like thrown into doing this.
Basically, he was basically turned into the, like, at least with Marvel, like you have a Kevin Feige and he goes, okay, you're going to direct this movie. We're going to hire this person to do this movie. We're going to get this person to write this movie. He basically was one man, like a one man show. Like, oh,
Literally.
I'm gonna direct this, and I guess I'll do Batman vs Superman, and I guess I do Justice League, and produce all these other ones. He really was like put in the toughest position imaginable. Like, he had to craft an entire universe from just like a couple characters and by one guy. Like,
yeah, and think about it. Feige has a whole ass like 10-person, 10+ people team just to oversee everything, right?
Yes.
When you're talking about cast and crew for each film, when you're talking about the creative team and the directorial team and all the casting and the pool that they have, they got fucking Disney behind them. Think about it, for each film is a big picture, but is a big picture budget, right?
Yeah.
And DC, yeah, sure, they got the money from WB. That money was generated from the Dark Knight trilogy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Of those successes, Warner Bros. Is built upon the success of dynamic filmmakers like Christopher Nolan, Inception, Interstellar,
Dark Knight
trilogy.
Yeah.
Like, if those films never existed, if those films never did as well as they did at the box office and critically, they would never have had the financial power or just the street cred to go out and make these kind of films. Because again, think about it. Like, it took the MCU to get started for them to make this kind of jump, right? And I find that to be very interesting because we talk a lot about how Zack Snyder just copied the MCU. That's not Zack. That's not Zack Snyder. That's the WB executives harping on him. You know what the Disney execs do with Marvel? Yeah, sure, they have the rules. Yeah, sure, they stifle them every now and then. But in terms of producing a good product, they know how to do it. They say, get the fuck out of the way. Feige, we're delegating to you. But be reminded, if you fuck up, we will treat you just as bad or worse as WB or as Sony or really as any other cutthroat studio in the business. And I think that's where we're underestimating a studio like Disney. We're thinking that they're not cutthroat. Oh, they're nice. They do the kids story. No, bro, they are just as bad or I think worse than any other studio out there. And it really is a cutthroat business. I mean, like, I'm not sure if you know, but the actor Mena Massoud, who played Aladdin in the Aladdin live action remake.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
We'll talk about how he's unable to get work. And he played Aladdin.
That's like one of the most popular like Disney characters of all time. But it's one of the most popular literary characters of all time too.
100%. Yeah, it goes way back. Right. It's one of the most famous Middle Eastern characters of all time. And in this world of, like, you know, I mean, let's call it like it is, you know, social justice and, like, you know, people call it getting, you know, that opportunity to tell stories, which I think is great. Like, you would think that he would get some opportunities, and the dude can act, but he's not getting the opportunity. And I think that this whole concept of, like, you know, people of color getting opportunities to provide people, you know, POC representation, that as an idea, it is great. But in its execution in the past 5 years or so, it's not been good. I mean, what I've been hearing is the show by Mindy Kaling, who I respect the fuck out of.
Oh, I love Mindy Kaling.
She created this show. What's the name of it? It's about an Indian girl fitting in American high school. Never Have I Ever. That's what it was. Never Have I Ever. And my friends have been watching, like a couple friends I have been watching it, and they will tell me it is god awful. And my one friend, Zane Hader, who is a huge, like, he's a huge, I guess, lib, I guess you could call him a huge liberal, but no, he's a huge supporter of you know, of diverse storytelling, right? And he shat on that. Like, he was like, no, this is fucking trash. He was like, I'm never asking for you know, what is it, diverse representation ever again.
Hey, is it a Netflix show or kind of interesting?
Yeah, it's a Netflix show. That should tell you all you need to know.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I'm never asking for representation again. And I'm telling people, like, you get what, like, be careful what you wish for, because you might just get it, and it might not be the best way. Now, do I think that people of color deserve to tell stories? Yes. Do I think that they deserve to tell stories of their representation? Yes. But do I think that they're entitled to everyone to just like it and just, like, you know, nod their heads? Yes. No. No one is entitled to that. I think that's a big thing that's missing, especially in the filmmaking world. Is like, you're not entitled to shit. Like, female directors, you know, people of color, you know, like Greta Gerwig, like Alejandro Inarritu, like Bong Joon-ho, they had to work their asses off and tell real, genuine stories, right? Telling the stories of their people, right? Bong Joon-ho with South Koreans and class warfare. Greta Gerwig with amazing films like Little Bird, Lady Bird, and Little Women, telling the stories of women in the lead that we've never seen. Like literally, Tim Chalamet is a supporting actor in Little Women, right? And Tim Chalamet is going to be the lead in Dune, a film.
Yeah, he's a big star right now.
Yeah, and he's a big star, and he, I mean, again, like whatever, Greta Gerwig, I'm not knocking him. I like the guy. I think he's a great actor.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show you that, if people are able to take that step down, like look at how many opportunities that opens up. Like Little Women was a hit. Lady Bird is fantastic. I highly recommend Lady Bird. My friend Marissa, she recommended Lady Bird. I watched it, loved it. Great storytelling. Saoirse Ronan, please allow me to give me your hand in marriage. I will not disappoint you.
Not a bad choice, though.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Modern problems require modern solutions.
Modern solutions.
I hope I'm saying that right. Saoirse Ronan. However,
it's Saoirse Ronan.
Whatever. I'm not gonna say whatever her name is because she's a very, very attractive young lady. But dear lady, if you want to hop on the podcast, if you want to, meet up and have lunch,
get married. Have 3 kids,
fuck around and get married. Like, I am 100% single, ready to mingle. I think you're a fantastic actor. You're a very strong, independent young woman. And
would you like me to leave? We want me to get her number real quick?
Yeah, go ahead and call and talk to your guys. Yeah,
I'll get my guys call your guys.
Yeah, so we're gonna take a break then. I'm gonna go so Collin and I are gonna talk to. So we're gonna get a number. We'll let you know how that goes, but we'll see in a bit. Stay with us. Hello and welcome back to the Great Power Podcast. I gotta fucking situate myself. Fuck. And we're gonna finish up with the Snyder Cut and talk about our thoughts about it. It being real. All the details of it, how we have been processing the whole thing, and how we think that it'll play out. I personally was overjoyed. Collin has played many a prank on me, saying that
it's a meme at this point. It's a prank on everyone at this point.
Right. Yeah, and I always fall for it because I really want it. And this time we actually got it, and I was like, I think you texted me. You were like, "Dude, Snyder Cut is real." And I said, no way. And I went to Twitter and I saw the announcement. And we initially talked about this last week on the pod because we were recording it at night. And I think it was literally the night before it was announced.
Yeah, something like that. Because it was an HBO Max
trailer
ad or something like that, and they had some of the Snyder Cut footage in there or something like that. And then the next day it broke. Oh no, it's happening, official. Because Zach did a Man of Steel, I think, watch party, and then at the end, it's coming May 2000 or next year,
2021. Yeah, that's what it just says 2021. I'm assuming summer. I think that's
summer release date. Yeah,
they'll do it.
Yeah.
And I remember we talked about because when we were recording, it was just rumors, right? It wasn't confirmed. So, but it was like this is most likely gonna happen. Like all the insiders reporting on it, like there was pictures, blah blah blah. We're like, okay, this looks very real. Like, let's hope we don't get played. And we're saying we're gonna get played, like Doja Cat played us and stuff.
Oh yeah, exactly. I was thinking Zach's just gonna stream Man of Steel, and then that will be that, and everyone will fucking riot. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen, and the opposite happens. Actually, Snyder Cut is real and is official, and it's on its fucking way.
So and he was saying all the details came out. So the reason why this conversation got started was because WB was bought by AT&T.
Yeah,
AT&T removed all those corrupt ass WB execs, the guys that could care less about these films.
Yeah,
and they said, hey, Zach, we appreciate your vision, we'd be willing to give you a second shot. And it shows this shit has been around for a while. Jason Momoa has talked about it, about seeing it because he said he saw it. Henry Cavill talked about it. Obviously, Ben Affleck has, and most importantly, the hero of them all, Ray Fisher, aka Cyborg, has talked about this film. He's been rallying for it for the past 3 years, mostly because his character suffered big time.
Yeah, no, you go back a couple years to like I think it was like San Diego Comic-Con, like 2016.
Yes.
July 2016. You see like all the footage of with Victor Stone's the character's name, like as a football player, and him
Right.
jacket. There was clearly a story that was supposed to be told.
You know what I recommend is so I don't. Do you know the guy named the Nice Cast?
They sound familiar. I can't say I've listened to them.
I think I've talked to you about him before, but so yeah, it's this guy named Karn, some Indian guy, and he does a lot of Indian philosophy stuff and Indian mythology, but he also is a huge Snyder fan, and so now he has this thing, the Nice Cast podcast, on Vero, which is the creator channel that Zack Snyder uses, or the big creators use. And so he has a podcast with him, and so he was doing a show with Ray Fisher, and Zack Snyder stopped by to talk about this. So they all three of them were talking Snyder Cut, and so he's really blowing up. So mad respect to him. This is the same guy who was offering $15 if you want to listen to his review of Birds of Prey.
That fucking guy.
Yeah. I remember that's what I told you about.
Yeah.
And we flamed them for it, but regardless, he's winning. That's awesome. And so I was listening to to what they were talking about, and they were they were saying that it's been a huge journey. It's been a long time coming to get to this point. Now what do we get? Right? So 30 to how many million? 30 million? Was it 30, 60 million?
Oh, for the budget of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's $20 to $30 million they're going back and putting back into the movie for basically, because when this whole thing got the whole idea of a Snyder Cut, I thought it was just going to be a cut of the movie with all the unfinished effects, some storyboards maybe to fill in. Yeah. But no, they're going back and they're finishing the shit that they did not have finished and putting back in stuff that was filmed that didn't need visual effects, whatever. Because it's a mix of a bunch of different things.
So yeah, they're taking the 20-30 million, they're finishing all the VFX, they're inserting everything, they're making a sequential story in Zack Snyder's a vision, and I find that to be really interesting because like Collin and I talked about last night on our call, we were like, this has never been done before, no one has ever been given a second chance, a real second chance on that film. Yeah. Collin brought up the sequel idea, sequelitis, that is a thing, but that is completely separate. Never once in history, especially with a superhero film, a big budget picture film, blockbuster from Warner Brothers, has anything like this ever happened where he gets a second chance, he gets strike two? When has this ever happened? It had never happened. I don't think it ever will.
I think the only time I can honestly, there's been two instances, but not to this degree. You have something like the Star Wars original trilogy where you had George Lucas go back in and add, CGI effects, all that kind of stuff to make it look more like his vision from then. And more recently, in terms of fan outcry, hey, we want this, we want it to be this way, we want this version. The Sonic movie with how he
definitely
before
and again, this is the Sonic one before the release, and the trilogies that's a prequel. It's different. It's a different sequence of storytelling. I'm talking specifically looking at this specific sequence of storytelling. It's pretty shitty. And then Zack Snyder goes in. It's we're going to change that. We're going to move that, put this in, put that out. Never has that ever been done before. And I think that's just fucking awesome.
Yeah, from a filmmaking standpoint, you have to respect that, hey, he's finally – I mean, how often can you see a director have his vision? We were talking about this earlier. Is quote-unquote taken from him and then him coming back and fully realizing it. I mean, that's very rare. Sometimes you'll have another director come in and try to – was it AI, artificial intelligence? That was I think it was a Francis Ford Coppola film that Spielberg tried to make into a Francis Ford Coppola film, but it ended up being more of a Spielberg film. You can have a situation like that, but no, this is Zack Snyder coming in and making it his own.
Again.
Yeah.
He's doing the film again. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
3 years later, he's getting a second chance to just redo the entire film. That's phenomenal. And I think it's going to be good. A lot of people were telling me, it's just going to be trash. It's going to be mid. No, I think it's going to be pretty good. I don't think it'll be great. There's a possibility, but I think it'll be good. What do you think, Collin?
You put me in the hot seat here, literally. Well, I just want to preface before I get into anything about this. I just want to say I'm going to say some not so controversial, but I guess opinions about the DC movies that some people, may disagree with. And I just want to say, if you like the DC movies, whether they're the DC Extended Universe movies or Joker or whatever ones they've been made before, come out later, that's great. That's awesome. I wish I could say that I am the same and I have the same opinion as you, but I really don't.
Yeah.
In terms of all right, is this a good idea for Zack Snyder to come in? Like I said, I'm happy that he gets to make the vision that he wants. Let's just look at the pros of this. Mm-hmm. Zack Snyder gets to make the fully realized version of Justice League that he wanted to make and finally close this chapter in his life. Awesome. The fans get the movie that they've wanted and we're really excited about. Get closure? Awesome. You're putting back $20 to $30 million into this movie when you could probably give that to, coronavirus outreach programs right now, any number of charities. It's just that's a lot of money to put in a movie that's already been done for fucking 3 years now.
Right.
Not only that, but I think I'm hoping that this isn't, but I'm already seeing little bits and pieces from different directors and studios and all sorts of stuff, and fans especially. I think this is going to set a bad precedent for bad films, especially bad comic book movies. Because you and me talk about all the time how often it is that a director will make a movie, a comic book film, right? And during production, there will be reshoots, or the director will opt out of directing it. We were just talking about Doctor Strange with Scott Derrickson, right? Release the Derrickson cut. The version of the movie will come out, and the fans will either love it, hey, that's great, they made the movie that the fans want to see, awesome. Or in this case, they'll make a version of the movie that's bad, and they will demand the insert director's name here cut. We have a David Ayer. We were just talking about this too. Another DC film. Suicide Squad. Released the Ayer cut. And then, of course, David Ayer had a bunch of stuff that was cut out of Justice League, and it would probably be more realistic.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, it'd probably be more realistic and practical to have that cut come out than the Snyder cut. That stuff, I'm assuming, is all done. It's just stuff that they cut out of the film and just was on the cutting room floor. Whereas Justice League is visual effects, $20 to $30 million worth of stuff that needs to be done. I don't want this to turn into, hey, this movie is bad, we need to see the original version, because sometimes you do just get the original version. Sometimes the movie is just bad. And I don't think Suicide Squad should be given a second chance. I'm on the fence with this one because it is a very unique situation. Because, like we said, Joss Whedon had to come in because Zack Snyder had, a tragedy befall his family. Should he, be given the chance? I'm mildly curious at best. I really don't care if fucking Darkseid's in it or Green Lantern's in it, but it's been so hyped up, and that is another problem I have. It's been so hyped up that I kind of just want to see it already, just to get it out of the way.
No way. Whoa. I don't think this is real. Okay, but no. Here, it's saying, okay, there's a report Henry Cavill is going to play Superman again.
Yeah, just give me 1 second real quick.
Take a minute, yeah. For those who can't, those who are watching or listening, Collin is jumping up and down and walking across the room. Oh, Lord.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
Lost some steam.
Okay.
I like that choice.
Okay, but wait here. Let me just read you the report. Okay. So, this new deal is part of the reason that Cavill appeared on director Zack Snyder's live stream rewatch of Man of Steel last night.
Yep.
Same stream where Snyder Cut was announced. So Snyder intended for Cavill to return for Justice League 2, but those plans fell through when Joss Whedon came through. And there, blah, blah, blah. So wait here. The original, like the first says, it says
they have set a deal. So comicbook.com has learned that Cavill and Warner Bros. Have set a deal for the Man of Steel actor to reprise his role as Superman in future DC Comics-based films. Does not mean that Man of Steel 2 is in the works. Instead, the studio will use Cavill's Superman, similar to how Marvel Studios has used the Hulk, replaying roles, making cameo appearances in films headlined by other heroes. The future of the series is yet to be determined. The studio has not decided which films will be included. So
you can guarantee he'll be in either Black Adam or the next Shazam movie at that point.
That's, I think, what people are saying is that he will return. Let me check through Twitter, because that was just like a tweet that a big thing that I got.
Well, I'm happy that because Henry Cavill, great choice for Superman. I think he's been bogged down by just bad scripts and direction. I'm glad he's getting a second chance. I'm pissed he's not getting the Man of Steel 2, at least for now.
Right.
Yeah, that sucks shit. All right, well.
Oh, wow.
But,
I think that they'll... All right, and then so Deadline. Well, here, so Deadline is reporting that it's just in talks that it's happening, but comicbook.com reported that it is happening. I'm trying to see. I mean, it's all, yeah. Variety is saying that he is back.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm informed, but listen to me. Man of Steel 2 stuff.
Yeah.
I'm reading the tweets right now.
Yeah,
and Black Adam's trending too right now. So
shit.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Could you imagine fucking Henry Cavill Superman fighting Dwayne Johnson, Black Adam?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's gonna be great. Yeah. Henry Cavill returning to the role for multiple projects. Definitely see one of them being a war between Superman and Black Adam and at The Rock. Can't wait for a masterpiece. Wow. Just imagine.
Holy shit. Good for him.
Yeah. I just hope that they don't get all super franchisey with it. I hope they keep it dark. But like not as cringe as, BVS.
Yeah, no. Or some parts of Man of Steel.
Variety reported, while there is not a Man of Steel sequel in the works, we're hearing that Henry Cavill's in talks to reprise his role as Superman in Warner Bros. DC Universe. We hear Cavill could come back in a couple different ways, not a standalone film, but there are plans to put him back in the red cape. Again, sources with knowledge tell us.
So can we assume that he will come back and film some of the extra scene for that Snyder cut? I think that's kind of why it's being made now.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. What they might do is they'll what they might do is just keep his stash.
Watch it be that 20 to 30 million was put back into this just to get him back.
Yeah, just his salary.
Come on, we're really sorry we fucked this shit up. How much you want?
I would now.
Make
sure I get that money.
I may not like green kryptonite, but I sure love green money.
What's her name? Amy Schumer's idiot is trending too. Oh yeah, so apparently P Diddy has Sean King and Jamel Hill interviewing Amy Schumer. Why though?
Did she steal another joke like she always does?
Yeah, she's gonna steal everything. God, what this? I guess they might be talking about the police brutality, but or just African American politics. But why the fuck does she has no room to talk? I don't have any room to talk. I'm not black. Well, what room do I have to talk? It's ridiculous. She said people of color in at least 15 times in 5 minutes.
Why do you have to be so I hate these white people that I'm white too, so I hate when we all do this. They do that thing where people of color. I see this. They're black.
Yeah,
stop being afraid of it. It's not a bad word.
Yeah, I think some people try to do it to include all people of color, black, Latinos, Asians, etc. But yeah, sometimes they just do it because they don't want to get canceled for saying black.
Hey, listen, you'll get canceled for just about anything now, so I get it. But
Wait.
Where is the Batman?
Jack Nicholson, where is the Batman? It is pretty good stuff, man. We were gonna talk about we're planning because we going into the recording. We were getting these reports that there's stuff around Henry Cavill coming back, and now as we're recording, we get the news that he is coming back. But again, I don't trust it 100%. I don't think.
I don't think it's official now, but I will give it maybe a week or two, and then it will be official.
I'll give it a week. Yeah.
I'm
sure.
This stuff always happens.
Yeah, I'm sure Henry Cavill will make like a post or something.
Yeah, preliminary rumors and then an official thing.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I think it was like on National Superhero Day, like 2018 or something like that. Henry Cavill made a post thanking all the superhero movie actors. He tagged every single one. He even did a hashtag for every single one, and only 2 or 3 commented.
Good guy. Good guy, Cavill.
Cavill, he seems like a genuine. Again, I don't know shit because I've never met the guy, but he seems like a good, genuine dude, and we're lacking those in Hollywood.
I guess you could say he's a real Superman.
Yeah, he's a Superman. It's so funny. A British dude is playing Superman.
Yeah, well, Superman's American, I guess, but you know.
Oh yeah, no, dude, he is Superman is like the definite American icon, but he also represents the Earth as a whole. So it's not.
Yeah, he's the perfect embodiment of the immigrant experience.
Oh, exactly, 100%.
Yeah.
I think that's what's. It's a very like underlying tone.
Yeah, I just want to see them make a Superman movie capturing that. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. Man, good stuff. I'm very excited to see Henry Cavill. All right, question for you. Henry Cavill comes back in Snyder Cut. Keep the stash or leave the stash?
Fucking keep it, man. Give him a goddamn Duck Dynasty beard.
Yeah. Honestly, it looks like I've seen like edits of him with like a stash and it connects to a beard.
Yeah.
Wearing the black Superman suit. It looks great.
Well, yeah, because in the Death of Superman comic book, he comes back in that same black suit with the silver symbol. And he's got like a mullet. Just give him the fucking beard at that point. Like, wouldn't it be so much easier to just CG a beard than CGI a mustache off? Like, I don't know.
Exactly. Like that's what I think. Or prosthetics. Like not hard. Like prosthetics or makeup or fucking anything, bro. Yeah. Or like literally just like fake. Like I mean, like you motherfuckers. Like I mean, like you saw what they did with the Irishman. Holy shit! They took these like 80-year-old men and like put them through 3-4 different time periods.
Yeah. Right.
That you can do at least the bare minimum. I think that's just the creative process that went into that decision was just terrible. And then from the start, just screwed everything up for them. Like they already lost. They lost before the game even started.
Yeah.
But I mean, I totally agree. I want for him to keep the stash. I think that.
I think just go the full fucking 9 yards. Just make it as ridiculous and crazy as you possibly can, man. You're putting $30 million in there. Fuck it. Go for it, man.
Yeah, go nuts.
If you can't make it good, make it so bad it's entertaining. That's what I said.
And I think what's so interesting about the Snyder Cut stuff is Zack Snyder has not seen what was released in theaters.
Oh, he hasn't? He hasn't seen the
no. So like, all the conversations that he has on people on Vero, and like he says, like, I remember one time like they're talking about like specific Flash or something, and like he was like I don't know what you saw, like someone was talking about like a Flash, like I think that the flashback or like the time thing when old Flash comes back is like Bruce,
yeah,
Lois, she's the key, and he literally is saying like I have no idea what you're talking about, and so I'm not 100% sure, but I'm 99% confident that he has never seen Justice League 2017. That's crazy.
I wouldn't put it past him. I mean, after everything that's happened, I don't think he would.
Oh yeah,
I mean, Edgar Wright hasn't seen Ant-Man either 1 or 2.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. I mean, would you? If you got kicked off the fucking movie?
That's a damn shame.
Yeah.
Why did he get it? Was it because he had a different vision? That was what it was.
Edgar Wright.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Basically, it was just the fucking thing is he was one of the first directors, along with Jon Favreau,
2009.
To start the MCU. They were doing talks back in 2005 about the Ant-Man movie. That was supposed to be in phase 1. And it just kept on going through different talks and his vision lining up with what they wanted to do in the MCU. And it was a mix of they didn't want him anymore because the vision wasn't lining up, and he just left because he was just so frustrated because his quote was, "They hired me to make a Marvel movie and not an Edgar Wright movie, and I'm not making a movie that I wouldn't make," basically.
That's right. And I 100% support that.
Yeah.
It's like
I mean, he does films a specific way, and he knows what he's doing. Leave it up to him.
Right. And the age-old quote, sometimes we have to be steady, give up the things we want most.
Even our dreams.
Even our dreams.
Sometimes our dreams come back to us in the form of the Snyder cut.
That's right. That's right.
Age-old quote. I think that Aristotle said that.
Yeah. I think it'll be good. I'm excited. I even if it's dog shit.
That is the one thing I am going into this thing. I'm like, okay, how much worse can it be?
Right.
I don't hate the theatrical release of Justice League, but I don't think it's good. But like, how much worse can it be?
Like Batman vs Superman, as we've talked about before, it was like bad, but it wasn't that bad, and I think it had a lot of good. It had a lot of good, spurts every now and then, and like the story was nice. And obviously it fell short of expectations. Obviously, there were things that just did not resonate with audiences or land well, but also take into account that it was going up against not Batman Civil War, Captain America Civil War, and all the pressure that comes. Like that movie was being hyped up since 2013. Like 3 years later, like what do they do? Oh, no, not as planned. But yeah. I mean, if he can do it with Batman vs Superman, if he can do it with Watchmen, if he can do it with 300, if he can do it with all these other films, he can definitely do it here. I'm excited. I'm supporting. I've been a supporter of the release of Snyder Cut. I'm supporting Zack Snyder. I'm glad that it's being released, but I'm glad you brought up, because that was one thing I wanted to talk to you about was, like from the cinematic standpoint, like cinema as an art form, as a business, like this sets a very dangerous precedent. But sometimes you have to forego this scary conservative, like, no, we can't do that perspective, and say sometimes you just need to let art, find its way around, and it'll be interesting because this was like fans clamoring for 3 years on end, and it finally paid off. Like
raising money to do this.
Yeah,
I respect those fans a lot. I don't respect the ones that just harassed Warner Brothers and actors from the film and all that. Those people can fucking take a fucking hike. But I'm curious to see how it turns out. I'm glad people are getting what they want out of this. I'm glad that these actors get some work during this entire thing. I'm glad Zach gets some work during this fucking thing. He's gonna put a lot of people in work. I know that it's not really gonna be an insane shoot. So I mean, hey, I'm hoping for the best. I don't 100% agree with it, but I'm hoping for the best.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's a good spot to leave it at.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys for tuning into this episode of the Great Power Podcast. We hope it was entertaining, fun, made you laugh, made you cry. If you like to follow us on social media, check us out at unbranded.films with the Z at the end. Email us at thegreatpowerpod@gmail.com. If you've got any questions, let us know. Check us out on Apple Podcasts. Leave a rating, review. More things to be coming, new podcasts to be launched, new ideas to be found. We'll see where it leads us, but please do stay safe. Please stay loyal to cinema. Consume as much as you can, as much as you want, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye for now.